Yeah, is it because I'm in a suit? It looks nice. It's new. I'm stressing. It's all right. We win these. We absolutely win these. I've never seen us lose these. I love him. I don't remember his name. What is going on, everybody? And oh, we're ready? I'll start over. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. The players are just now entering the arena for day one. A lot of them had the opportunity to be here yesterday to get jerseys, to get familiar with the area, and to get to know one another. But today, the friendly gloves have to come off, and they are all here. Earlier, I was talking to these guys. This mannequin, when they didn't have anything else set up, I could see it from all the way down there, and I thought it was a person. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, why is he standing like that? And I thought it was like a smooth criminal. I thought somebody was giving us like a Michael Jackson impression, and then it was a mannequin. I was really embarrassed to admit that. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Hold on, let's go over this window. It just keeps going. There's so many people outside. There are so many people outside. We're gonna interview people when they come in. I don't really want to go outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, and this suit is new, so. Oh, there's Doc Haskell. Hi, Doc, how are you? He brings a full notebook with him and like writes notes down. It was pretty insane. He had it yesterday. He's gonna be coming through this metal detector right here. I don't know his name though, but I recognize his hair.
Jen.
You're Jen? All right, we're gonna interview Jen, who's supporting Kennesaw. I'm gonna ask you like a couple of very simple questions. Okay, are we ready? All right, great. College. I really like Georgia College's color scheme. It's just red, white, and blue, I think, but I think they did it in a really clever way. Mineral area wearing hoodies, even though it is 75 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolute legends.
If only Nick could hear you. Nick, come back.
If he's over 100 feet away, he can't.
You were whispering something, and he started smiling. I'm like, are you whispering?
Oh yeah, because he's got his headphone in if we're close enough. But
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit again. You're welcome. I'm gonna go find him. Oh, there he is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Real stuff is starting. Real stuff. Competitive integrity needs to be upheld. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I get really embarrassed when I get yelled at.
30 is
Okay. Wow, it's not 10:30 yet.
It's only barely 10.
Woo! All right, it's gonna be a long. Hey, what's up? Surprise interview. Join me over here, though, so we have a cool backdrop. What are we here for?
Rocket League.
Awesome. I'm not going to ask what school you go to because unless you swapped hoodies, that seems pretty clear.
Nope. You know, I got my jersey on with my name on it.
Oh, you do? Show us your jersey. Look at John T. Turbo here.
Yeah,
That's not his name. I just keep calling him that.
Yeah.
His name is John, but
My name is John Turbesi.
Yeah,
That's
not John T. Turbo.
Yeah, I get the message that I'm going to Nebraska where I met you.
Oh, that's so crazy. So context, we're probably not even going to use this, but I want to talk about it. Turbo and I met at a LAN like over a year ago. That's so crazy. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. I am Seb Dillons, joined by a man I have interviewed probably well over 10 times. It's going to be my good friend Neb, here from Bay State Overwatch team. Neb looked at me before he started his last series, and he said, "We are not dropping a map for the rest of the day." And so far, he has lived up to that title. But Neb, is there anybody you're thinking, we've got to get them out of the way, we've got to take them down?
No.
No? Just looking at it, each fight's its own, every game, going into it, just taking it as it comes?
I have the confidence right now that we're not going to drop a single map.
I love Neb because not only is he confident, but he's correct. Bay State is one of the best Overwatch teams I've ever seen. So it's always good to hear. I love the confidence, and I love Bay State, so I hope they do a great job this weekend. So what qualifier, did you win a qualifier to get here?
At-large bid.
We're looking at Rocket League, we're thinking high odds, low odds, where do we think we're walking away?
I think pretty high. I think we're doing pretty good.
Is there anybody that you're looking at, you're like, please do not let us go up against them unless we absolutely have to?
I mean, really, everybody's good competition, so.
And sorry, what was your name?
Ethan.
Ethan from Mineral Area.
Yep.
Very exciting. Well, Ethan, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. What kind of pass? A player pass?
Let me get you on here.
No, you actually have to like tape it to your chest, like really awkwardly with masking tape. Okay. And it's gonna fall off. Yeah. It's gonna be uncomfortable, I promise. That's a guarantee. Okay, cut that, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, good. I'm great, everything's good.
Who do we interview? Who should we interview?
I don't know, I'm just here. I need caffeine.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
Welcome to ECAC Top Plays of the Week. This is Rod, your favorite host, back at it again with more stellar plays from Collegiate Esports. Special thanks to our partners at Esports U for the additional coverage. Let's hop straight into it. Starting off this week at number 8, we have Torchy showing aerial dominance. They show that you're going to have to work a little bit harder if you want to get back on their stage.
Tiny bit here.
Now you gotta mix up your timings getting back onto the stage. Toiletry is looking for something, able to still find the jab, and the foiler is going to be.
Next up, we have Cadmus, showing us what impact on a support player really looks like. With the timing of a Lucio God, they come in to claim the play of the game.
Player just going to deny anyone an attempt to hit the objective, and I mean, at this point in time, you gotta expect those rollouts to be as quick as they are.
Moving on to Rocket League, we have Swax, showing why they own the airspace with a nice self-follow-up, netting WSC the goal.
As we are going to try to find out that little nugget of information, Swax is going to drop this one down and give us a tie game here in game number 2. Gets that nice little touch over the defender, Peter.
As an Astra main myself, nothing brings me more joy than watching Zeno hold it down on the C site with a nice 4K to secure the second round of the half.
Fine, there's a 50-50 angle. They're checking a beautiful spray down onto 3. Players come in for the rotate from the rest of the map control, and a beautifully played round by FSE, capped off by a nice one.
Now at the number 4 spot, we see that luck is a skill when Post gets 2 back-to-back kickoff goals. All it took was 6 seconds to go from a deficit to the lead. That is comeback potential.
Other ways.
I don't... What? Okay, so Warda actually messed up their kickoff. They 100% did not mean to land like that and then just happened to get a wave dash into it. Hey, listen, fortune favors the bold, and sometimes it's better to have dumb luck than to not be lucky at all. So we'll take it 100%, especially if they get another one. Kabuki to tally it on, and they're proving it isn't just luck.
Coming back into Smash, we have Bryce showing a ledge guard of the gods. It took a couple Gordos to nail it, but this clip truly ended in perfection.
Nope, not a footstool in sight, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna be looking for some sort of an edge guard here now. That Gordo is right in the way, and Bryce gonna be able to get the...
Conrad came into this round swinging. They really showed what happens when you combine the skill of a great player and the blessing of the RGX Vandal.
Over-aggression, it worked out so well. I mean, just a double kill already in their favor. Push so far with the Sheriff, I mean, has been truly impressive. And unfortunately, he has not been there to follow up. Conrad now looking for the ace, already able to get 3, looking for 2 more. There's the 4th, and it's up to the tail to save the day. Conrad goes in deep. Oh, they're able to find it, Conrad.
Finally, at the number 1 spot this week, Frosty lays down the law with a stunning barrage. What a way to tell the enemy to get off my point.
Frosty to move in, unabated, unhindered. Here comes the rocket barrage, and it's lighting up the scene with 4.
Well, that wraps it up for me. This has been another fantastic week of ECAC Top Plays of the Week. As always, follow us on Twitter and catch us live on Twitch at ECAC_esports. You can find us live on Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST or Wednesdays at 7. Thanks again to our partners at Esports U for providing all the additional coverage for us to show you. This has been Rod, the best host of this season. I'm just saying, and I'm signing off.
Hi everyone, my name is Heather Garozzo, also known as Sapphire. I'm so excited to join you here today. This is an initiative that means a lot to me. I've been involved in esports now for a little more than I want to admit, but about 20 years in many different facets. And when I started, I was often the only woman in the room. There were no women competitions. There were no other women on co-ed teams or women's teams. And that obviously has changed drastically over the most recent couple of years. Initiatives like this are so meaningful to getting more women involved and giving them a stepping stone to join those tier 1 leagues, to join co-ed teams, mixed teams, and hopefully become the best in the world. So I came to join today to just tell you a little bit about my journey, hopefully inspire you, whether you want to go down the path of being a professional gamer or a content creator, or you want to work in the industry. There's so many different options, and I wanted to share a little bit about my story with you. So first off, I'm actually at Valorant Champions in Istanbul right now. The match is happening like just behind the door from me, so you might even hear some of the crowd noise going hype. The crowd is obviously cheering for Fnatic. Actually, I just heard a loud cheer right now, so something epic might have just happened. But so apologies if you hear that background noise, but it's all part of the vibe. It's all part of just being in esports, living and breathing esports. My journey actually started just as a player. I was a multi-sport varsity athlete in high school, tore my MCL, was out on an injury, and then I found esports. My brother would have his friends over, and I didn't want my brother to be better than me than anything, and I just started playing. And this was actually Counter-Strike. Valorant wasn't out at the time, of course. And turns out that I was pretty decent at it, and so started playing more and more and more. Found some teammates, traveled down to the CPL, which is like the top tournament at the time. Thought after winning a bunch of tournaments in the Milwaukee area that we would come in and do really well. Turns out we were terrible, and we finished dead last. Lost to a Finnish team that was one of the best in the world. But it only motivated me to be a better player. So I kept competing. Eventually, I made it on to some of the top teams. I was in co-ed teams, played in ESEA Invite, which is now the equivalent of ESL Pro League, and also played on some co-ed teams. Played with teammates like Miss Harvey, Potter, who is now the coach of Evil Geniuses, Alice Liu, that played with Complexity's Valorant team. Some of the things that I learned in my competing journey, it's not just about my physical skill in the game, not just how quick you could react to something, but communication, teamwork. These things are so important. At Valorant Champions right now, I get the opportunity to listen into the teams and listen to their communication. It's amazing how they refine their craft and refine how they communicate with their teammates. It's something so fascinating. So I encourage you, one of the things I like to tell up and coming players is record your team's comms and listen back. Did you give the right calls? Could you have done better calls? Those calls have been shorter and more precise? Those are some of the things I learned as a player. Throughout that playing journey, one of the highlights was in 2012 when I traveled to Paris and competed in the Esports World Cup, which was the top tournament for women at the time. And we came in and we won the World Championship, which was so exciting. It's so amazing to play in front of crowds of thousands of people. They were cheering against us because we were playing against a European team and we were an American team. But that feeling is just like unlike anything else when you can raise that trophy and they play the national anthem of your country. I hope many of you playing in this competition will get to experience some of that one day. It's truly an honor. Some of the other things besides competing and winning trophies, I played in 250 tournaments over the years. I believe that's the most for any woman. It's hard to keep track in the early days, but beyond competing, I work in the industry. So I'm a vice president at Dignitas. It's one of the oldest operating esports teams. We had for many years one of the top women's teams in the world. I also founded a women's initiative called Radiant and operate women's esports tournaments just like this. And I've realized how important that is. A lot of people will ask, why do the women need their own tournament? Why can't they just play with the guys? And my response back is, if you look at a game like Valorant, there's a reason why there are so many women competing in this game compared to other esports titles. It's because these women's initiatives exist, and they give women something to work towards, something to get started. It gives them a more safe environment, a harassment-free environment, to kick off their careers. And I hope one day we don't need women's tournaments. That's the end goal, is because more women are competing and more women are going to start to shine in those tier 1 teams. My last point is, as I said, working in the industry, there's so many different job opportunities. You don't have to be the best player in the world. You don't have to be comfortable on camera and be a content creator. You can work in business side, marketing, advertising. You can work in PR. You can work even in the sciences. There's sports psychology jobs. There's team chefs. There's nutritionists. One of my positions is being an observer. Like I said, I'm at Valorant Champions right now. And, if you're dual monitoring and you're watching both this event and Valorant Champions at the same time, after this, I'm about to hop in and be the observer for Xset versus Fnatic, essentially an in-game director. There's a million different production jobs as well. But I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to hopefully inspire you to continue to pursue esports and gaming.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is time for round 1 of the ECAC Valorant playoffs. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me over there is the fantastic Visionary One. And in these round 1 of the playoffs, we have Grand Valley State University Blue going up against Army West Point Black. And so, round 1 of the playoffs, Visionary, this is setting the tone for how the rest of this is going to be playing out.
It certainly does. And not only that, this is a 14 seed versus a 19 seed. So if Army West Point wins, you can't really call it an upset either. These teams are pretty neck and neck. Obviously, Grand Valley State University coming in at 7-1 and Army West Point Val Black coming in at 5-3. But both these teams get the reward of whoever wins gets to play Scarlet Tempest Red next week, who is a 3 seed in the entire bracket. So you know what? You get round 1, you have a lot of fun. You're going to be running into a monster next week.
Absolutely. And hey, sometimes you got to stand up to the monster and see maybe we can take them on. Maybe we can bring this down and show that we are just as capable, but we will find out next week. This week, though, however, we have a lot of action ready to go here, especially with the maps that we're going to be going on to. And I think this was a little bit surprising for us, Visionary, some of the things that we saw here. No Ascent, no Bind. We're going to be starting on Breeze.
I'm extremely excited about this, and it's kind of a surprise ban, honestly, because college Valorant tends to fall into that it's very Ascent, Haven, and either Icebox or Bind kind of meta, right? Like nobody likes to really gravitate beyond those maps that have been there since the beginning, right? We finally get to see a team bring out Breeze. I've been with ECAC almost this entire season. I have not seen Breeze once. I am so excited right now to get to see the operators in play, to see those long angles, to see those one taps with the Vandals.
Well, Breeze is that famous map. Very controversial, obviously. You talked about it. The long sight lines that gives so many opportunities to be able to use things like the Operator, use things like the Vandal. And this is also where the one true agent really shines at her finest. And I wouldn't be surprised, a lot of Viper. We're going to be seeing those walls coming up, cutting off sight lines to be able to give the attacking team or the defending team some room to breathe and actually be able to get on to site without having to deal with those operators.
Yeah, Viper's always important and basically a mainstay. I've seen some teams experiment with Harbor. I've actually seen a Harbor instead of a Viper on Icebox before. I don't think we're going to see that here. I think the sustainability and how long that wall is able to be up is way too important compared to the Harbor wall, where you get a quick execute in, you don't have a lot of util behind it, and you see already hovered and already chosen for both teams. Viper is going to be here today.
Viper indeed, and obviously the KOs come out as well, a really good initiator here on Breeze as well. You being able to use the knife to gather information is so vital, and on top of that, being able to suppress, take away the ability for a Jet to be able to dash away, or the ability for a Chamber to teleport away if they're not able to do it in time. Still though, taking a look at this, Grand Valley State running with 3 initiators.
So this is actually the comp that Sentinels ran in last chance qualifiers. They just completely ignored any duelists. They're like, okay, Tens, you go do chamber things. We're going to run 3 initiators. We're never going to be out of intel, and we're just going to rush sites. They ran this exact comp on Breeze. I'm definitely excited to see a college team running it as well. Although on the other side, you see the Jet and the Chamber. Double ops can be used effectively on Breeze because you can essentially cut off B site and A site entrances on those choke points with 2 ops. We don't see that a ton happen, at least in the higher levels of Valorant, but it can be sustainable as long as you trust your team with those operators.
It's all about the trust, and these teams absolutely have it, making it to the playoffs. So, you know, the operators are obviously the big talk of the town. We have a lot of initiators on the field, at the very least 2 for each team, with one having 3. Now, the fact that Grand Valley is not running that duelist, though, not being able to have that kind of entry frag potential that you get with the Jet, being able to dash on site, throwing down smokes, giving your team information, giving your team, okay, here is where the creating that space that is needed for your team. Interested to see how this is going to work out, especially considering that Army West Point is starting on the attack. So maybe having this duelist on attack will help them out immensely. But it could also be the fact that, you know, GVSU running with the 3 initiators, being able to hold them back, being able to stall out for time also could be a vital thing here.
It certainly can be, and GVSU can also come in. They can use those prowlers to entry as well, right? It comes down to being one of those things where you can entry off the prowler and the drone simultaneously, even if you wanted to go for harder information, as we see, of course, a lot of action in Tube right now. I definitely love seeing this on a pistol round, be able to kind of get that map space and kind of force everybody to collapse in the middle and then be able to rotate out from there. Army West Point, I love this strat from them.
Oh, it's already happening. No illusion. A crisp headshot comes in onto Vibin. And so one Viper beats out another Viper. Still 2 beyond that doorway. One flashbang comes in. You're going to turn your head away from that. This is, I mean, already starting off wrong. GVSU headshot after headshot and a flawless first round visionary.
That was over quickly. They found where that was coming from. They knew they were lurking Tube. They didn't see any presence anywhere else. And immediately they collapse on Tube. You have the KO, of course, coming out with that flash. Super clutch right there. Able to clear out that Tube. And then everybody else is kind of lost because the spike is in Tube as well. So you have to push through double doors. You kind of just get removed from the play. And I mean, GVSU starts out extremely strong with this 3 initiator attack. And the funny part is the only initiator utility that was actually used was the KO flash.
Sometimes that's all you need. You're able to get 2 in there, flash all of them, really good potential, and then a lot of damage came through. Very deadly. Now we have the Viper wall coming up, cutting off sight lines on A, going to give a chance. They're abandoning the Tube idea. Let's just go in through main. Let's see if we're going to be able to get onto site. We might have to contend with a couple of marshals here and there, but hey, at the very least, we're making some progress. The shock darts are going out, a little bit damage here and there. The Haunt 2 as well. Del Taco hitting headshots, using that Headhunter, living up to its name. Now we're going to try and make a swing here. Barely able to get out of dodge just in time, though.
Yeah, this isn't going to be exciting if you're definitely on this team, though. Getting pushed all the way back into sight, you're not going to be able to play lineups as well as Boogaloo at least has a decent shot right there. Make it 2 decent shots. I don't think they'll be able to get the spike holder, though, as they continue to push. Does GVSU. They are going to get the removal. But with the way that round started after getting that plant and everybody getting forced back here, of course, into Cave, I don't think they're mad exiting with 2 picks there because they're going to take some utility out of that. You're going to see that Classic come out. You're going to see that Ghost come out. Not going to be a full buy here, so West Point might be able to gain their bearings a bit here with a full buy versus a pretty light buy coming out from GVSU.
Yeah, and GVSU, this is the pivotal bonus round that they want to win. They want to start bolstering that economy, be able to take them to that next level and really set themselves up to have a comfortable first half. And this is where having the weapons in your favor for Army West Point is the best time ever. Now you see we're running Vandals. We're going in hard. Now we're looking towards B site with mid control. We're going to already look a little bit of damage onto Dive. They're going to back away, throw out a recon dart, see if maybe we can gather a little bit of information on someone who's going to come in. But in this mid battle, Arax flanking from behind, nobody was ready for them, gets a kill using the Spectre.
And not only that, there was actually 3 of them flanking from behind. They just full rushed it. They came out of Cave, recognizing that nobody's there, and instantly took all that map control, knowing that they're at a gun disadvantage. They're trying extremely hard to use this advantage here. Couple of shots coming down as well. Del Taco gets 1. Del Taco gets 2. That is massive right there, and Boogaloo can't do anything about it. Just completely surrounded, and GVSU is going to collect a ton of guns from this as well.
You know, it really just came down to one thing right there, Visionary, for Del Taco, and that's having to hit some crispy fat headshots. And that is exactly what they did. A lot of what Chamber is able to do, right? Being able to hit those headshots. The Headhunter is a powerful weapon. basically a deagle, basically a sheriff. So if you're able to land your shots, and the most important thing too, they were under pressure. They were being fired upon. But it was patience. It was discipline to not start going crazy and start panicking.
Oh my, look at this play coming out, and they're just gonna mow down, but hey, Hug and Boogaloo right there, the classic sheriff, not the headhunter, and of course that Marshall coming out, retrieve some guns on your end and go ahead and get entry on the site, and that's an even 2-for-2 trade, and if you're Army West Point, this is a great position to be in currently.
Oh, then you have Del Taco entering onto site, getting entry frag already, looking towards another one inside of the flashbang. Freebird tries to make the swing, but instead is going to feel a lot of pain. Huck all by themselves, now blinded by the Prowler. There was only so much you could do all by yourself in a 2v1 with no vision whatsoever. The defuse comes through and GVSU continues this lead of theirs.
And you know, this is kind of bully ball, right? Like it feels bad, but you get a Prowler and a Sova Dart thrown at the exact same time, and you're seeing the versatility of this 3 initiator lineup. Oh, we lost our KO early in the round. It doesn't matter. We have Prowlers, we have Recon Darts, we have everything that can come in to help with a retake on site. They're allowed to be aggressive because they have so many tools to figure out that intel that it doesn't even matter. Like, you can literally go in with a 2v4, you're gonna at least spot 1 or 2 people before they take down that utility in between that Fade and Sova, and they've done a great job at being alive late in rounds. As you can see, those 2 haven't even died yet.
It really is so important that they're able to survive, because you're able to initiate, you're able to take down 1 person at the very least. You send in all, you just drain it all. You use everything that you have to that you possibly can in order to secure that round. And in doing so, it works out for them every single time. They have the economy, they have the potential to be able to do that. First blood already though from Dive. GVSU really wanting to set themselves up for success to be able to take this round. And you can see that Army West Point, they're playing so slow. They're playing very cautiously. They don't really want to know where they want to go, especially with Del Taco having the tour de force in their hands. It's going to be a lot of damage. The knife gives the information, and you can see that GVSU immediately rotates over to the pyramids, waiting for someone to poke their head through. And you already have it. Freebird is going to be the unfortunate one to do that, as Del Taco just lops them right into the ground.
You can't even be surprised by that. And right now, I mean, Army West Point has to be considering saving the operator. Like, they invested it on the chamber in this round. You already have 2 down. You have complete site control. You have all of that utility. You have the haunt. You still have the recon bolt that was just thrown. That's up in another 40 seconds. Like, what do you do when you come here and you see one lurking through the Viper, the Viper's molly right there? It's not going to be much happening. Everything's going to be shut down. The haunt comes out once again. Not going to be able to spot one as one dashes onto site here. Love just chilling here, just waiting for the push, and it's going to be difficult to deal with. And Vibin does get a pick on the A side.
And now with only 2 members left of Army West Point, make that 1, make that none. With time running out, they had no other choice. They needed to get onto site. They needed to plant. There still was some options. Now they've lost the operator, and look who has it.
Yeah, it's going to be Del Taco, and that flick that he hit, of course, on Vibin, that was something else right there too. That was kind of nasty with it. So I mean, we see these plays coming out, and we see the calculated aggression from GVSU is paying off, right? And when you're Army West Point and you're playing a little bit slow, you're playing a little bit cautious, it might be because you lost a little bit of that trust in yourself, right? And so what you need to do is you need to come out, you need to be decisive in this round and just go ahead and force them to make those decisions.
Now we're going to see on the flip side, Army West Point using their own tour de force. Maybe is going to be able to give them the foothold that they need to get in onto site. And already, just, oh my goodness gracious, you are kidding me! Luke, right through the smoke, just throws in a couple of shots, and they're able to take down the Viper while they're using the Viper's nest, and Del Taco gets a double kill using the operator of all things, and a flawless round for GVSU.
I'm speechless right now. That's perfect. First of all, I'm going to say check Luff's PC. It doesn't normally work that way. Just spamming somebody through the smoke and getting that beautiful head tap. Definitely crispy, and that just kind of opens up the plan, right? They knew Vibin had the Viper's Pit. They threw it down, and then what happens? They get picked off just out of the smoke randomly, and the whole take kind of falls apart because you were banking on that being there later in the round. And I mean, Del Taco, of course, this man is terrifying. Like, I do not want to be near him because I feel like I'm just going to get flicked on.
I mean, Del Taco and that operator has just been insanity at its finest. Being able to use that weapon with a slow fire rate and still getting kills. And I mean, they're sitting at 10-2. This is a person who was top fragging, and now A site is under their control. They're not going to let anyone do anything that they possibly can. You just gotta wait for the smokes to come up. You gotta wait and see what you're gonna be able to do. You hear the jet engage in onto site. You do get hit by that, but now they're gonna whip out the classic and still get a headshot.
Spike planted.
There's no shot, Del Taco. There is no shot right now that you cannot hit. That is wild right there. Bringing out the classic, getting the double dink off, going ahead and taking out that chamber trip as well. But Vibin has a decent lurk here from mid, but he's going to rush on to help his homies. And Vibin's actually going to get the pick there on Illusion. And Arax has this nasty flank. Del Taco's going to remove it anyway. And Luff is going to get taken out by Freebird. One miss with the operator, but it's not going to matter. Dive has the pickup. And we're going to go to 7-0 right now for Grand Valley State. And again, I just want to reflect on this just for a second, Sam, because this is their map pick, but it's very obvious that they picked this for a reason.
The obvious reason, they are destroying right now. 7-0. This is a score line that, you know, going into this second half, even if Army West Point is able to pick up a couple of rounds, it's still something, this kind of momentum that Grand Valley is able to give themselves, and this kind of confidence is kind of hard to come back from Army West Point. To stop this momentum that Grand Valley has been able to build up for themselves. And on top of that, the economy that they have, even if they were to lose a couple of rounds, they could probably lose 2-3 rounds in a row and still have enough money to be able to full buy almost the entire time. Illusion not wasting any time, however, throwing down the Viper Cess immediately. Why not? Let's just use it. Let's see if they can go through. But the Vipers have been having a really tough time with their Viper Cess. They keep getting headshotted through them.
Well, that one was a great recon bolt, of course, from Army West Point. And Dive hasn't died yet, and he has finally received his first death. And West Point actually pushing up with cohesively and together right here. And Del Taco actually misses a shot. I can't believe I'm saying that sentence, but Arax is going to have the pickup right behind it. There's some more opportunities, of course, that... Oh my god, the flank from Vibin coming out as well. This is just massive right now. Everything is being thrown out right now, and Army West Point is doing a magnificent job as Freebird and Vibin going to take out the last two. And I mean, it's just a collapse on this site, and it's about time they did it. But again, they were decisive in this hit, and I think that's the biggest part.
Absolutely. It was, let's get on there. Let's see if we can make the necessary picks. We got to watch out for Del Taco, though. We need to figure out where they are immediately and make sure that we take them out of the equation as quick as we can. And a really good lurk from Vibin to get into the flank, to get that double kill. First of all, you get an KO out of the equation who had the null command activated. And so you don't have to worry about the suppression anymore. And then once you take them out, you immediately flick over. Del Taco and the operator, no longer a factor. And then in a last-ditch effort, GVSU tries to use the Nightfall, but by that point, it was already a done, sealed deal. Del Taco taking a different position this time, however, keeping them guessing. Don't let them know exactly where they are, but Del Taco, double kill already. At the start of this round.
And not only that, but
make it 3.
Yeah, it's just, this is the Del Taco show. This is his world, and we're just living in it right now. He might get found by Vibin on the flank here again, and he does. He will lose his life. Vibin actually gets one. Huck gets one as well. And wait, now we're in a 2v2 situation, and now Luff is there. Huck with an operator versus 2. This is going to be tough sledding ahead, of course. That's a great KO flash coming in as well. They're going to get on it. It's not going to be smoked off, but oh no, Huck doesn't hit the shot, and he doesn't have the angle. It's looking like they're just going to save the operator here. And no, they're going to actually lose it. It's going to be Grand Valley State. That was a very good job by West Point, bringing that back to a 2v2, right? Just the execution afterwards, unfortunately, just not as polished as Grand Valley's retake.
Still, though, we're seeing Army West Point really start to find themselves a little bit, find their confidence. They're getting in onto site, and they're able to make the picks, especially Vibin right now, who's kind of the hero for Army West Point. They're getting the kills. They're landing massive headshots. They're taking these long angle flanks so that way they can get in the ideal position. And they've been able to find Del Taco almost every single time. It was just really unfortunate that in their attempt to get out, they got caught out by the Prowler, then obviously executed there. Now it's just walking in onto site, using the null command, maybe be able to suppress down Del Taco, who actually does not have an operator in their hands, but we know just how insane this player is. It doesn't matter what you put in their hands. It could be a classic. They're still landing headshots like it's nobody's business.
That is big facts. You're going to see a lot, of course. Oh, and Hutch actually going to pick off Del Taco with that Hunter's Fury. That's a massive pick right there as well. So the shock darts coming into the Viper's pit. Vibin right now just kind of chilling out on the corner. Going to hit some mollies as well. Try to get one. Arax going to be able to pick off Freebird. Flash going into the Viper's pit. This might be dangerous right here as Vibin is forced out of the pit. It's going to drop, and now Huck on the flank has one, but he's got to deal with 3 more. He's got another, but there is Luff picking up that operator that Del Taco dropped, and it's going to be 9-1 for GVSU.
It was a valiant effort from Huck. We really do have to give it to them. A double kill at least to close out the round for Army West Point, so not the worst thing to happen to the world, but it was just like you said, on the opposite side of the pyramid. They had to walk all over, and then, you know, an operator puts that story to its conclusion, and we saw exactly how that played out. Army West Point, their economy is not looking the greatest. We're having to make some buys here that are not the most ideal situations that we want to go into, especially at this scoreline of 9-1.
At least Boogaloo has, you know, the Blade Storm to use, and we're going to see them. Oh! As soon as I mentioned it, Boogaloo says, hey, yo, what's up, Del Taco? I found your head. Peekaboo, I see you. Great one-way right here as well. Boogaloo just trying to be aggressive here. Open up this mid-site and kind of let them get some control of the map, but Dive has been unstoppable as well. And he's going to get the headshot on Boogaloo and just completely remove them.
We're having a little bit of a KO battle inside of Tunnel. But it looks like it's just going to back off for a second. Freebird not really wanting to engage on A-Rex. I know someone's hiding out there. And sometimes it's just as simple as a molly. Visionary, sometimes it's just, okay, you know what? We know they're hiding out there. They can't go anywhere. Let's just molly it. Oh, vibing. I feel for you there. I've done that before.
This isn't Call of Duty, though. The quick scope isn't as reliable, unfortunately. I mean, you got to go for it there, right? It's 10-1. There's no point in saving a gun, right? Like, it kind of just is what it is right there. I think Huck is going to have the tour de force. So they do have another operator, which is nice. You're going to see Huck actually opt for the judge here as well. So close range versatility. If they get on site, they want to try to hold something, it'll be there. Everybody has a buy here for Army West Point, but this round is pivotal right here. Because, I mean, at 10-2, obviously 9-3 is the curse that everybody knows. 10-2, it's scuffed, but it's still comebackable as long as you win the pistol and that bonus round. 11, though, is really, really difficult to come back from.
Indeed it is. And we hope that Army West Point is going to be able to come back from here. Back and forth, though. Del Taco takes down Freebird, but gets traded out immediately by Boogaloo. And Hutch, wanting to make sure that Double Doors was protected, was not being protected themselves, as Loof was able to walk in and swing right by Pyramid to get the clean headshot. However, Boogaloo, with an operator in hand, has so many opportunities, especially as a jet, to be able to land the shots, but they're going to have to be very careful here. Huck does get caught inside of the Prowler. They're going to back away, back towards the tunnel, looking for any opportunities. We're going to make the swings, and Boogaloo has a nice flick for days to be able to land the headshot there. Spike is now finally going to be planted, but you're not watching your flank. And guess who's going to walk up and get a double kill to bring this half to its conclusion, giving GVSU their 11-1 scoreline.
Army West Point, I don't know how much you mapped Breeze beforehand. I know this might be a pocket pick for GVSU here, you know, feeling ultra confident on this map as it is their pick. The problem that you run into, though, is when a team has a pocket pick like this. Right, Sam? Like, they can play Haven. Everybody plays Haven in College Valorant. It's a given that you're going to play Haven in a set. So, like, they're equally prepared for that. But when you're able to ban out a set and be like, yeah, you know what? We're going to play Breeze. Like, I want to know how many times West Point has actually played Breeze in this season here, or if it's something that they've really worked on as a comp. Now, obviously, their comp doesn't really have any issues. They just had a hard time getting on site without, I mean, honestly, without getting just torn down by GVSU's defense, because they do have that jet, and the jet did entry, right? It's not like the jet was lurking and not doing their job. It was just unfortunate seeing them time after time just get absolutely swamped by these GVSU retakes.
It was difficult no matter how you cut it, and Huck to try and walk inside, gather information, but unfortunately for them, it's going to be an instant headshot from Dive, and we're seeing already, not even needing to use that much utility, we're just landing headshots like it's nobody's business. Time after time, it's just murder after murder. As a poor unfortunate, it's already a flawless round as we go into match point.
And again, you just saw the power of having the Sova and the Fade together, right? Because the dart comes out, they're getting pinged, and then you see the Haunt fly out on the backside as well, and it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, I am stuck here. I have no chance. And so, like, when you talk about like having problems entering, obviously GVSU is just built diff on this map, and we can kind of write it off. But when you have that utility to be able to get so much intel on where everybody is, entering isn't really an issue because you know the common angles that you have to look at. So not having that jet, not having that duelist isn't really a big problem for me. And it's proving out here as Vibin's going to take
squad.
Yeah, illegal, honestly.
And GVSU, they're making big purchases here as well. I saw a couple of Vandals. A valiant attempt, however, from Freebird using that Stinger. Save for Hutch, so we got a couple of kills. Army West Point not out of the equation just yet, but with Boogaloo being the only one left alive, and a 1v3, really visionary. It was just a matter of time. There you have it, Grand Valley State University, 13-1 against Army West Point on Breeze.
And I think it's just a map diff. Honestly, I don't want to try to disparage Army West Point too much here, but it comes down to College Valorant being a very 3 to 4 map game, and you get a wrench thrown in your plan and Ascent gets banned first, and you're like, oh, well, I mean, we could play Haven. Haven's kind of our map, but what are we going to do? Like, we're pretty much not prepared for this, and it's kind of what it looked like.
It's painful. Breeze is that kind of map, right? We said it at the very beginning of the stream. Controversial. People don't like the map. It's difficult to play on. It's difficult to play around with. You really do need to have a Viper, so that already takes up one slot. You need to have that one person be very comfortable being able to play Viper, being able to hit their lineup, so that way when the spike is planted, right, you need to know the common angles of Breeze, and with it being such a big map on top of that, you had to make sure that you're still able to land those long distance shots. And when you have someone like Del Taco who knows how to use the operator, who's able to land consistent shots time after time after time, and even when they're not using an operator, by the way, and still landing headshots like that, it's just, you can see why this map was chosen by Grand Valley. They know how to play this. They were, it was almost like a walk in the park for them with how they were able to play it. And then the triple initiators on top of that, the potential to be able to lock down a site pretty much with flashbangs, with prowlers, with Hans, getting information using the recon darts and the recon drones. It was so hard for Army West Point to even be able to entry in onto site that sure, you had the jet, but when the jet is having a difficult time figuring out how to get onto there, you saw what happened, right? You saw the score line, and you see just what Army West Point had to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, they just said, they looked at Del Taco and they're like, hey, man, we're going to let him cook. Like, that's it. Like, the best IGL strat in the world sometimes is, hey, best player, go kill. And that round it was Del Taco. And maybe we'll see some more action from them, of course, on Haven. That's the question that remains to be seen, Sam.
Indeed so. And Haven, another one of the bigger maps, has a unique for having 3 sites on it. So a lot of different potentials that you can go on to make your decisions. You typically there's a lot of different compositions that can really work here. We might see a Brimstone come out. We could potentially see Omens for our controllers. Chamber is still a really good pick. Long sight lines, especially with C. You have C long. That's a really good place for them to use their tour de force, use the operators. And so for this map, I'm hoping that with this being Army West Point's pick, that, okay, Haven, maybe this could be the difference maker for us. Now we're on a map that we're comfortable with. We're out of the Breeze pain that we were in. Here's where we're comfortable. Here's where we can stand up to GVSU.
I think that will be kind of that map that we're going to be looking at, of course. And it is a comfort pick, right? And I think you mentioned Omen and the Brimstone. You know, you have those options. I think we're going to see a lot of Breach here too. He's found his way into the meta thanks to Fracture. And then people realized how good he was, because everybody had just written off Breach and they're like, oh man, clear long ankles, like he's great, like especially, you know, the entrance to A sewer, because you can cover that from, you know, B link as a defender and just completely stun everybody that's even trying to enter on A site just off the rip of a round and kind of delay that momentum that people are trying to build. So we're going to see a lot of Breach. Obviously, we're going to see a different controller as well. And I guarantee you, we're probably going to see Jet, and we're probably going to see Chamber as well. It's just one of those maps.
Yeah, Jet has the potential to be able to updraft themselves into advantageous positions. There's a lot of boxes scattered on A and C that they can get on top of, and of course the generator in the middle, generators in B that they can get onto, and then entering onto site once again. That Blade Storm, the close quarters, is a lot more conducive to how they want to play. Being able to land those headshots is something that, you know, we saw a little bit of on Breeze, but being able to take it here onto Haven, I'm feeling a lot more confident about this already, though. Arena.
I mean, I love to see it, honestly. And then
I do too.
On the other side, Illusion going with the Rays, who I honestly, for Haven, you know, there are some tight angles. I really like that Boombot and the Pain Shell is able to clear out those more common angles. I think it gives you a lot more utility than a Jet does, especially when you're going to be running a chamber for that operator anyway, because you're not going to see Del Taco play a different agent probably for the rest of the tournament, as long as they're still in it. I'm going to be honest with you. He's playing that well right now that I would actually personally question that. And Hawk actually going with Phoenix I'm going to be honest with you. This looks like a OG, like, first 3 months of professional Valorant comp right here. We have a Reyna, we have a Phoenix, a Breach, and an Omen, and then Sky in there as well for Army West Point. That is interesting, but you know what? Sometimes I will say that, like, I will, especially at the collegiate level, if you have a comfort pick and you just got blown out, I would much rather you play that comfort pick, Sam, than you just try to be meta
100%.
and play somebody that you're not as comfortable with.
100%. It's sure, it's meta for a reason. It's a really good agent, right? But it doesn't matter if you don't know how to use them. What's the point of a meta agent if you don't know what you're doing with them? And so go with that comfort pick. Go with what makes you feel like you can really contribute to the team and be able to make that win happen. Even if it is an agent that's not necessarily the best on this map. It's the best for you as the player.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day. So we're going to see Army West Point, of course, starting on defense here. We do see a Breach on both sides. I do like the double initiators coming out on each side. The big difference is, though, that Sky being used for intel can be limited sometimes just because that Trailblazer doesn't have a lot of range. And her Hawks, while they do tell you that there's people there, they don't tell you where they are. So I do like the fade a little bit more on GVSU for that second initiator.
Indeed so, and look at this A main push. 4 members of GVSU inside of it. And you saw that Del Taco was hanging back, waiting for them to initiate before they go in through short, seeing if maybe there's a possibility for something to happen there. But with the way things are looking, before they even get onto site, everyone is going to be dead at this stage. Now we're going to have the rest of Army West Point try to get onto site. But with it's looking, Huck, 2 HP to their name, and no shorty shots! Gives another flawless pistol round for GVSU.
The takes are just so polished, so coordinated, right? And the wherewithal, right? To understand, hey, we're going to send 4 people through long on a pistol. That's not something you'll typically see on A side. I mean, you'll see it on C, especially on a pistol. But people like to split A up, and GVSU is just like, no, we're going to send 4 through long. We're going to send 1 lurking short just to see if anybody's there on the rotation, and we're going to take everybody out. And you already see Illusion opting for that Phantom in round number 2 with a couple Bulldogs. And of course, Del Taco is probably going to be going for round 3 op here. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Now, if you're going for the round 2 Phantom, that can only mean one thing, that you are confident in being able to land your shots. And Illusion had a really good first round, 2 kills already. So you can see that they're fragging out. GVSU, a little bit slower. Wanted to take their time, wanted to figure out. We have big weapons in here. Now we don't want to waste them for any potential reasons whatsoever. Vibin, a little bit scary. Caught out, had to shoot the haunt, but now the gravity well comes in, but they're able to get out just in time, and they're going to survive through the aftershock as well. A lot of utility was committed to maybe be able to take out Vibin. Thankfully for them, though, we're able to get out of dodge.
They were able to get completely out of dodge. And not only that, the paint shells were wasted as well. So you're going to have to get 2 more kills just to have those back online. That's a great flash right there from Huck. And he's going to be under danger, but he at least got his 1 with the classic, did his job. Luff's going to find 2 on the back with that Spectre, however, as we come in and watch the plant go down. It's going to be a 3v2 retake. Of course, classics in hand for everybody here. And this is going to be a huge flank potentially, as Del Taco actually misses a shot. And he's going to be under pressure again, but he finds Freebird.
Indeed he does. And the good thing for GVSU as well, they have control of that Phantom still. Illusion did go down, but they can pick it up. You see, that's exactly what Luff did. And now, because of that Phantom, a 3K.
Yeah, you can count them. 3-0 on the board. They're right there in front of you. And Army West Point does win the round. They're able to control the power weapon once again, of course. But I do want to commend Huck right there for his patience right in that flash. Now, you can't help the fact that there's 4 of them on that C-long angle after they showed so much presence and dumped so much utility on A, but the ability to just kind of time that flash, be able to get your pick and go through, allow your team to potentially get 1 more, even though they didn't. It was very close on 2 members. Of course, Del Taco and Luff were down pretty low. So your team did their job, just unfortunately not able to finish off those kills to do a little bit more eco damage going into round 3.
Well, now we're going to see what GVSU's plan is. They played it slow first round, but this time, Illusion is not wasting any time whatsoever. Just go ahead. Let's walk on the site. They don't quite know where we are yet. Oh my goodness! Boogaloo, that was a flick for days. They were looking in one direction, and as Illusion swung around the corner, it looked like they had the opportunity to be able to take the headshot, but it just wasn't quite there. Things have been even back out, though, as Luff is able to get the kill onto Huck. Now it's Freebird stuck on site by themselves. They had to be able to find 1. They do indeed, but a flashbang is going to rob them of their sight, and Luff to rob them of their life.
Yeah, Luff's done a great job of getting onto site as kind of that secondary entry behind those Prowlers and done a good job with it. Is Hutch going to get a good flash here? We're going to see this positioning right now by Dive is just so disgusting. And there it is with the Bulldog. You're going to make it a 3v2 retake now for Army West Point. The Paranoia comes out as well. You're looking at all this Vibin going for it as well. The one-way on long. This is just a dump of util onto the spike. And that lurk from behind, I don't know if it's going to be spotted in time.
Yeah, you just cycle it out. You wait for your opportunities to be able to take some kills. Boogaloo, however, has been fantastic at recovering through some of these initial attacks that happen against them. They got a couple of kills for themselves in this round. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite there. The number advantage wasn't in their favor to really be able to capitalize and take this round. So a really good job from them, though. Look at that. You see it in the replay. Just a quick flick, a kill. A fantastic job, though. Army West Point had a little bit of a better round once you put guns in their hands. We saw a couple of really good headshots, but it was just them being isolated away from the team, and then we just have GVSU playing with their numbers really well here. I think set themselves up for a lot of success. It did get a little dicey towards the end, but they were able to recover cleanly.
Yeah, Dive was just disgusting with that angle, and that's one of those common angles that you know can be ratted, but unfortunately just didn't really expect it as Hutch pushes up pretty far here to start off the round, and this is going to be a pretty much completely retake full scenario here as Boogaloo tries to go through the smoke and get one, gets the headshot, but unfortunately with the Spectre, you're not going to find much with it. As 3 are on the flank right now. This might be an opportunity. Here's Hutch going to get one. You're going to find a gun, but Illusion on the swing back. Vibin's going to find more value with that Sheriff, but unfortunately going to be a 1v1 now, or 1v2 now, and Vibin has to do this all with a Sheriff and 6 bullets in the tank.
But they weren't ready for the Del Taco swing in through their smoke. We still had to give it to Vibin, however. A couple of nice headshots with a Sheriff. Not easy to do. A lot of pressure on them as well. But Vibin really does love to take these flank maneuvers to go up into where GVSU is not expecting them. And so they're able to do things like this. You take out Illusion, then a wall bang onto AWPE. There you have it. It was a really good attempt to. It was just, once again, the numbers are proving to really hurt Army West Point in these rounds.
Huck is running an Odin, and I don't think I've been more excited about anything in my life right now. A Phoenix Odin is just beautiful to see. And you're going to see those double doors. You're just going to be completely blasted off the face of the planet. 100 bullets through them, already down. You're going to see a little bit of action, of course, towards the C site. A lot through Garage right here. Oh, he didn't get the reload again. This is going to be a long time. And the Rolling Thunder was just hit as well, and Huck is removed.
And trying to get through all of that reloading, of that noise, that information was given. And so you just use the Rolling Thunder. You go on there. You secure the side. That's all you got to do. Del Taco, this is an insane chamber player through the smokes again. Visionary, where is this in coming from? How are they able to find it now? As I'm saying that, AWPE on the flip side, though, gets 3 of their own. This is an insane team. GVSU, 5 rounds in a row. This, I mean, the map pick for Army West Point, and GVSU is just having a field day on it right now.
They are, but it comes back to that fact that you have the pocket pick and Breeze, and everybody plays Haven, so they are well prepared for this map, and I have to give props to AWPE there as well. It was a perfect timing, of course, on the Rolling Thunder to be able to get on site, and then after that, you're just like, okay, well, we have sight. What are we going to do? We're going to let Del Taco just lurk behind the same box that somebody was killed from last round on Army West Point. You have to be a little bit cautious of that angle now, because it's been used twice against you. You can't continue to do that. And Del Taco shooting through smoke, I think that's just a thing of we check his PC as long as it's clear. I think we're vibing on it. This man is just, better to be lucky than good sometimes.
Right? Sometimes that's really all that comes down to in Valorant, especially when you're taking those big sprays and you're hoping that the RNG is in your favor, and then you get that one headshot from the bullet that looked like it was going to North Dakota, but it actually went to the head of your enemy. But now, GVSU, a little slow, trying to figure out if they want to entry in through C-Long. They're taking their time, and that's going to be a really good way for them to be able to enter in. Now you go in using the Prowler or Flashbang to slow them down for a second. Huck inside of every single literal thing. Welcome to Valorant 2022. You can't even see what exactly you're doing. Freebird, fantastic discipline to be able to get the headshot. Fortunately for them, once again, it's just these isolated positions. It's these open positions that they're in that once GVSU gets onto site, they really have nowhere to go.
That's a good job by Vibin to get one with a Spectre right here, though. We're going to see them maybe try to retrieve a gun, and that's a wall bang, so it's not going to do enough damage. You know Del Taco isn't happy with that one. He's going to go chasing this kill, or maybe he gets another one through the smoke. We'll see. That Phantom there, not showing any bullet tracers, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. TP's in front! No way! Did he know he was going to reload off of that?
No way! The 200 IQ plays. This Del Taco has a galaxy brain, visionary. He waited for the reload and then said, all right, it's time to rendezvous, baby, and get the headshot, get another kill from me. My word.
I don't know if that's Galaxy Brain or if that is the largest ego in the server right now. And it's probably a little bit of both. But to be honest with you, to just go ahead and be like, yeah, I'm going to rendezvous in your face. I know you're reloading after that spray and just take the head off. Yeesh, that is something else right there from Del Taco. But we have to focus on Luff. Luff is 9-0 right now, and the pairing of the utility between the two initiators is what I'm really loving to see right now as well. It's not just seeing that stun or any illusion. Wow. How do you find that
inside of a concussion even, and you still land in headshots? Illusion, you have my respect for that, my friend. They got caught and a lot of utility. It looked like it was going to be really dicey. Vibin was like, this is my opportunity. This is my chance. We get Illusion off the field. And now we might have something that we can work with here. But Illusion said, but wait, I don't think so. Del Taco gets another kill, 7 HP, is able to get out through window. Now you just hold in garage, wait for anyone who might be going in through a flank. That's going to be Boogaloo. They heard the noise, and so now we're going to swing, maybe be able to take a headshot. But Boogaloo does get to live for another day. Walking in, the big thing here, if they do decide to go inside a garage, make sure to check your corners. But Boogaloo, looking around, making sure that their flanks are safe before they entry in onto site. You're going to try and take out the bot, but guess what? Now Dive feeling a little bit confident. Even through the leer. This is an insane team, by the way. But there you have it. Freebird to give Loof their first death.
Yeah, and I was trying to make a point of how they're using the fault lines and the breach blinds, of course, along with all of the fade util. So the util is essentially covered. Either somebody's turning around away from a flash or trying to get out of a fault line, and then a haunt's coming over their head, and they're able to reveal everything on site. Not only that, but I mean, this GVSU team is just absolutely filthy with their shooting accuracy as well. They are completely on point. The util combinations are beautiful to see, and it's just where does it end, honestly? Like, West Point obviously has the capability to get a few rounds off, but on this defense right now, they've just been stunned all the time by the dumping of util and the quick rotations to a different site by GVSU.
Now you just go in with the Nightfall, see if you're able to clear anyone off of B. No one was there, but at the very least, you know it's safe. Illusion, a showstopper. Let's see if something is going to be able to happen here. Doesn't look like it. You use it. All right, we wasted it. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially for how GVSU is playing so far. On the flip side, you do lose Del Taco. ARAX to hide themselves inside of this corner, but a paranoia blinds them. They don't need to worry about that, though. They're protected by their team. And now for Boogaloo, all by themselves, inside of this Empress, there's still maybe a possibility, but it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, they're gonna have this angle covered. There's the jump peak, and then the aftershock comes out just to delay even further, as you see. Yeah, it's just a double swing. It's just all calculated. Everybody playing off of each other's utility. They are never looking at something alone, and that's the real difference right now. They're clearing out the sites. That Nightfall completely cleared out B, told them it was free, right? Free plant goes down, and everybody is peeking off of each other on GVSU. There is nobody sitting there waiting and trying to take an ego duel, with the exception of the occasional one from Del Taco.
We do love those ego duels from Del Taco. They are at the top frag position, 10 and 2. But even then, look at the rest of the roster for GVSU. 9, 8, and 4. So they are all pretty much pulling their own weight. I mean, you pulling weight like that too. Illusion on top of the box is like landing headshots one after another, time after time. Army West Point down 2 members, a 3v5. You're able to get onto site. Heaven is controlled already. No one's going to be able to get up there without having one heck of a battle. And this is spike planted.
Yeah, I have to give love to ARAX as well. They have 9 assists, so albeit a little bit less on the kills, they are diming up their teammates in a great way, and Dive somehow wins that, and he wins another one through Huck, and Luff catches the flank almost instantaneously, and it is just a 3-member wipe right now, and GVSU is just running through everything that Army West Point Esports is bringing.
Look at this though. Dive up in heaven, throws out one paranoia, gets the kill onto Boogaloo, wallbang kill by the way, then swings, takes out Huck, and then Luff holding down the rear, making sure that nobody's able to walk up and surprise them. It's just GVSU playing a fantastic game of Valorant right now.
It's honestly, this is one of the most impressive just coordinations of util that I've seen so far in ECAC. This is a phenomenal job of them just playing together. Here's Freebird going to hold this angle with a Marshall, as is Huck. Going to get them to rotate off this site. You know, Marshals are nothing to be messed with. There's 55 damage going to go on to Del Taco. He doesn't care about that. He's going to push through, and Boogaloo finds themselves another one. Done a real good job. I think they're about even with Del Taco so far in duels.
Yeah, we got to give it to Boogaloo, who's really trying their hardest to make something work here and try to make something happen. They've gotten a lot of picks, a lot of really good potential from them as well. A nice kill and then a dismiss to save themselves from illusion. But you see, we still have members. We still have timing. Boogaloo, a 3K now. Looking towards the ace. Could it be possible? Maybe. They had to stand up to Dive right now. Dive's been playing a really good game. They're pulling out their utility. But Dive, very fortunate for them. Very good timing as well. It was just, it's just painful to watch those kind of things happen.
I mean, Boogaloo got theirs though, right? They got 3 kills that round.
Indeed, they did. You can feel for Boogaloo though. They tried to make that swing. They had all the opportunities in the world. Dive was still trying to bring out their weapon.
It was a shoulder peek on the paranoia, and just enough to kind of mess with your ammo. I think they're gonna swing, and then you realize they don't have a gun in their hands, and they're retreating. And after that, it's like, okay, are they gonna wide swing, or are they gonna close peek with the shoulder again? It just throws everything off. It's a good flash up front. I'm pretty sure they're playing anti-flash because I don't think Del Taco was blind there.
I don't think so either. Little strange occurrences. Boogaloo, a lot of damage, and in their attempt to try and make something happen, does go down. Thankfully traded out by Freebird. Hutch to back away. They're inside of a concussion. Not tempting fate, not wanting to go crazy. I say not wanting to go crazy, but they are going to. That was a nice wall bang. But once again, it's just being traded out time and time again. GVSU has such good map control that even though one member goes down, it's like, okay, another one pops up and we're able to get the kill. And look at that, good awareness too. Knowing that a rolling thunder is possible. That could happen. That could be something that we have to worry about. And now you just play utility. They try to go for that defuse. You throw in your aftershock. You throw in a concuss.
That is absolutely massive as Freebird takes a little peek here, hits a tap. There's a fault line. Freebird's going to find one, however. Now, the question remains, how much time is there left? As Aftershock's actually going to get used, going to force to swing out. Here's an opportunity for Freebird, and the clutch from Freebird is going to come through. That's a 3K, and that is a beautiful job of using that breach utility to come out with 0.73 left on the clock. Army West Point's on the board.
All on the shoulders of Freebird. You got to be feeling pretty good if you are this player of Army West Point right now. A lot on their shoulders too. They had so much that they needed to do and so much that could have stopped them there, but it was good control and good precision. I mean, look at how much utility was being used. Look how much utility was being dumped by AWPE. We had the fault line. We had the aftershock. We had flashbangs, but Freebird, stalwart throughout the entirety of that attempt, was able to clutch it out and give Army West Point that first round win. Vibin though, looking a little dicey, now stuck inside of the corner, but a good swing from Hutch. Takes out Illusion.
That's a great swing from Hutch. The double swing right there, and Vibin gonna get one with the paranoia. Vibin has found 2. Hutch gonna re-swing and re-peek that, be able to find another. Here's the flank, and Army West Point getting some momentum heading their way out of this 2-10 half. Don't count them out just yet. Those were 2 dominant rounds from Army West Point.
Yeah, they were. That was clean. That was quick, too. It was precise. Hutch being able to land those shots was so massive. And there you have it. Vibin, they were able to take down one before being traded out. But once again, we're seeing Army West Point taking a playbook from GVSU, not playing alone. You're ready to take those swings. If one person goes down, we have someone else to fill that hole and take that kill and make that trade happen.
And that's all you have to do, is you have to just play together, play off your util. You have 3 characters with flashes on your side on offense now. You cannot count them out. Everybody, including us, are about to get flashbanged.
I know. Make sure you put on your sunglasses, everyone. This is going to be a blinding time period for all of us. But we're going to see what Army West Point does. This is just going to be a straight push in through C-Long with Vibin hanging back, waiting for anyone who might want to try and go for those cheeky flanks. It happened a lot on Breeze. We're not going to let this happen again here on Haven. Site has been taking control, and GVSU playing on the retake. Let's just see what we're going to do. Wait for the entire team to come here.
Oh, there's Vibin with the right click. Doesn't expect two more to be there, however. And you talked about the cheeky flank. I was just watching that on the minimap coming from A. They know that they're going to have to play the backside position now, and Del Taco's going to find one. You might find two here. No, it's going to be Hutch. You have to go ahead and swing this. Freebird with a great shot as well. It's going to be a 3v2 retake, and they're just getting taken out from main. Boogaloo and Hutch going to combine, and Army West Point take their first pistol round so far of the entire series.
That was really good from Army West Point. Control was really what it was all about. This was a really good first pick from Vibin. I think they got a little greedy. They weren't expecting the two members of GVSU to be there, and so they wanted to go pick up the ghost, maybe have a little bit more to work with. But you obviously saw what just happened there. This was good aim, though. Headshot after headshot after headshot from Army West Point. And then Boogaloo to close things out. A beautiful round from them.
Sam, what do you mean, though? There's a skin on the ground. You have to pick it up, right? As the combo, the Wombo combo from GVSU is going to come out. You get the C's combined with the paint shells, and you find yourself a pick right off the rip. And that is a great way to use utility in a save round.
It's those little moments where you can really abuse utility like that to, at the very least, stop someone, to stop the push for a second, or do a heck of a lot of damage. And Illusion is doing a heck of a lot of damage themselves. Another pain shell goes through. Maybe you'll be able to catch somebody out, or at the very least, push back Huck, and then reposition yourselves, so that way you can get a headshot and your third kill of the match already. Freebird, we've seen this insane player do a lot by themselves. We've seen them win 1v3s. Is it possible that they're going to be able to do it again? They do have to stand up against Del Taco, who has a Vandal in their hand, and that is not something that I want to go up against.
This is extremely smart, though. The Breach, I believe, still has the Aftershock, so he's going to be able to throw that out from heaven after the tap. Now, you have to survive the wall bangs. That's going to be difficult to do, but the Aftershock is there. Instead, going to operate off that flash, not be able to find the first one. There's the shot, and that is beautiful. Del Taco gets it half, waits a minute to peek, and waits for the utility to come out. It's a magnificent play by Del Taco to bring it back, and unfortunately, the bonus round goes awry for Army West Point.
It was a really good attempt once again by Freebird. They had the odds stacked against them, and they were able to even things out. But it was just like he said, Del Taco, the patience, the waiting, the knowledge that, okay, it's a breach. What are they going to do? They're going to try and use their utility. I'm going to be ready for it. I've already got the spike halfway defused. So we just need to be cognizant of what we want to do here. And now for GVSU, a full buy.
And that is where they're most dangerous. And Army West Point gets an early pick here, of course, with Reyna. Boogaloo being able to get one off. Del Taco going to find one in mid, make that two. He's going not only for that, and pretty soon he's going to be ended up going for a 5-for-5 here if he continues this with the Vandal. We're going to look down here. And we're going to see, of course, the Trailblazer come in. He's stunned, and he gets the TP away as Huck is able to get him off of it. Dive gets one on top of the box in the beautiful rat spot. They open it up. Only two left for Army West Point, but arguably, Freebird's been the most clutch one so far.
Indeed so. It's going to be a lot more difficult with a classic in your hand, though. Dive, waiting for an opportunity. Maybe someone will peek through, but you're going to have to make sure that you have really good, precise aim. And unfortunately for Huck, blinded. Same for Freebird, as Arax is able to walk onto site, get the 2 kills that they needed, and bring GVSU to match point.
They're doing a great job of just playing the guns, playing the angles, right? I mean, Del Taco gets a little aggressive, but he already found his 2 in mid, and you're not really too worried about it because Del Taco with a Headhunter is just about as deadly as Del Taco with a Vandal. It's actually a great job, that flash right there by Arax, just able to get Huck off of the angle, knowing that they're playing close. It's just like GVSU has the read. They have the read on the team. They're able to come through. You also have to remember GVSU is coming basically off of, they won their round on the bonus, so they had extra money in hand on top of everything else as Del Taco's going to play just inside this smoke, and this is terrifying to think about.
It really is. He's waiting for a good opportunity. Took a shot, not wasting any time to get out of there. Rendezvous. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially on match point. You want to close out the round, and you don't want to go too crazy with it. Meanwhile, Dive going crazy with it, getting the headshot on Huck in C long as they were trying to maybe be able to take a cheeky flank. This is going to flush Del Taco using that aftershock and a lot of damage, but even through all of that damage, their headshots, you cannot stop this person. As the words were coming out of my mouth, though, Visionary, Hutch is going to stop Del Taco.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the Seekers coming out. There's the swing onto Dive. You know where the other two are located. The problem is where the spike is located currently. This is going to be the toughest part because it's just sitting there right outside his sewer, and that angle is going to be watched like a hawk because without that, you can't win the round. However, everybody in the lobby right now on low HP. So if Hutch is going to clutch this, this is the perfect opportunity to be able to do it.
You can see playing patiently, swinging, cutting the pie. Let's see if anything delicious is going to happen. Oh, wall bang. Now it's the 1v1, but you got to pick up the spike. You are running out of time. You have to get onto there. You have an idea of where Loof is, but it looks like the timing was just perfect between these two as they're hiding behind the boxes. But Loof, I think, had the information. They had the idea of where they were. There was only one place that they could be. Let's try it. Maybe we can get it. And indeed so, they were able to do that. GVSU 2-0.
That was
this first round.
Dominant win in the first round of playoffs. They really showed why they went 7-1 in the regular season as well. And, you know, I don't want to call anything too soon. Obviously, this is the first match of playoffs so far for ECAC that you've seen live on stream. All I have to say is that if that's a 14 seed, I'm excited to see what is to come, Sam, because the utility combinations, everything that they were able to bring, it was just insane to see them combo their utility so well and swing off each other so well. And I really want to know what they're doing for communication because it is clearly different than just about every college team I have seen. They always played together. They always had each other's backs and they were always willing to trade.
Yeah, you got to remember, Valorant is this team game. It's all predicated on the basis of, okay, we need to work together. We need to be able to trust each other in order to get these wins. And that's what we saw from Grand Valley tonight. They did a fantastic job. And I'm interested too, by the way, if this is what a 14th seed is capable of, next week with Scarlet Tempest Red, who is the 3rd seed, what are they going to be able to do? What are they capable of if they're the 3rd seed?
That's a great question, right? Like if you're a 3 seed, I mean, obviously that means you probably went 8-0 and you had a perfect tilt all the way through the play or all the way through the regular season. You get to get that first round bye, right? But I think this is going to be a team to be reckoned with here just because it's not all aim, right? Like we've seen a lot of college teams that come in, they're aim gods, right? They're just going to take any duel. They don't care about who they're facing. They're going to be aggressive. And while GVSU did participate that a bit, it was the second person was always there behind them. So like, hey, I'm going to ego peek this, trade me out. Like it's just a next level to it. And it's not peeking alone on defense, especially, right? Like Del Taco's allowed to because he has that get out of jail free card with the rendezvous. Other than that, though, it was basically a masterclass. I can't say anything better about the way GVSU played today.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time. These first rounds, you really get to see how these teams are playing, how excited they are. And for Army West Point, they had some moments where, okay, we see a team that's really coming together. They're having some difficulties against GVSU, who's playing so well right now. But there are times, too, where, okay, we see them recognizing what they need to do, recognizing that they need to play together. And even for themselves, they were still able to land some fantastic shots of their own. They were still able to use some utility. They were still able to make some fantastic clutch rounds of their own. It was just GVSU playing at that next level that really, I think, hurt Army West Point, and something that I think I would like to see from this team, maybe a little bit more teamwork, working around each other, working off their utility a little bit more, because we saw that the GVSU initiator working off of each other, being able to just dump all of their utility onto site and being able to consistently land those picks time after time, I think really helped them out a lot.
It helped them out a ton. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, though. Freebird, go ahead, clip that from the stream and throw it up. That was a beautiful clutch, and you definitely deserve it. Other than that, though, Sam, I think we're going to find an interview here, of course, from Grand Valley State University. So I think we're going to take a quick break here, let our voices rest. Obviously, it was a quick 2 games, but it was an exciting 2 games. So we're going to take a quick break. Right after this, we're going to have an interview, of course, with the victors, Grand Valley State University.
fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
Hey guys, K-Tad here, and as spring break is upon us, we too need a break every once in a while. But with that said, you know we've still got some great collegiate esports action for you, and playoffs is around the corner, so you know that these teams are doing everything they can to make the cut. Let's get into it. Starting us off, it's a POTG for POST as Hiveder spins to win and keeps his team alive in their series against the Colonels.
Because they needed that victory, they needed to know that the reverse if it's going to take place. Haas started with the best.
At number 7, Floppy's got a show to put on for us as he juggles Sen around the stage.
Off stage, how will they make it back on? Just immediately opting to go for ledge, eating an uphill, and totally not going to be dying quite yet. He is quite a hefty boy, but what a follow-up.
Yeah, ping pong with this.
It's overtime out the gate for our number 6 clip, and eBest Drew hangs it us a little to the left to clutch it up for Farmingdale.
Gets it over one, has Indemnity to work through now to flick over him. Chance, oh, it's top of the box for St. Drew. That's a goal, game 1 winner for Farmingdale.
Yeah, that's eBest Drew right here. Fantastic shot reception, or that pass reception, I should say. After Otto puts this across the top right here.
Up next is Curious George with the Cura Ace to clutch up the round for Keen. And yes, the editors came up with the name of this clip, not me.
Behind it, and now you're going to be talking about a bolstered close point here. It would probably be in the best interest of Keen to go ahead and just save their weapon. Not exactly sure how their guns are looking, how their economy is looking, excuse me. But this just seems so unfavorable for them. They're sort of making it work, mind you. Curious George, he's going ahead and giving it the old college try. He's going to make it an ace, but does he have the time behind the snake bite? He can go ahead and stick on it. And by God, again! Keen just cannot keep getting away with it. They're disjointed, they're scrappy as all hell.
It's Ye Old Faithful in our number 4 spot as Putnut and Kofe toss out a huge Grav Dragons to flip the point and secure a map number 1 for Nickel State.
I think they're going to have to fade out this immortality. First, we're going to see that committed on the attack of the Grav, but the Dragon Strike is massive. A 4-shot for Kofe. And with that, the Colonels will take control of the point once again.
Now this might only be our number 3 clip of this week, but you guys have to check out this play from Not Leopard as he pulls off these ridiculous moves to juggle the ball right past the defenders of Central Missouri and into the net.
It's possible, setting up a counter-attack potential, but Fan Shui here and Not Leopard. What? Oh, Not Leopard! They have families! Stop it! They beat all 3 defenders!
I finally figured out why it's not Leopard. It's not Leopard because it's Messi. Messi with the dime, the dish, the left to the
At number 2, this is probably one of the smartest plays we've seen in a while.
Joining us from Grand Valley State University Blue Side is Illusion, the Viper Rays extraordinaire. And I mean, Illusion, your team played one heck of a Valorant series tonight. And I gotta be honest with you, it was some of the most impressive Valorant that I have personally ever seen. How is the team feeling coming off of that win?
You know, it's definitely nice. We just came from a pretty rough game yesterday against Houston and NECC, so it's nice to kind of have a win again and just go forward in the ECAC playoffs. I honestly think even though we're 14th seed, we can contend with literally any team in the ECAC division. So, you know, it's obviously nice to get a win and everything, but for us, it's just, you know, another day. The job's not done yet, you know?
Absolutely. I love that, though. I love that. I love that passion. I love that fire.
For sure.
That fire is something y'all definitely brought to the battlefield today as well. I'm not gonna lie, everything was looking spicy. I have to ask you though, so we don't see a lot of college teams running Breeze. Is that something that was a bit of a pocket pick that y'all were saving for playoffs? Is it something that y'all wanted to work on, or have y'all played it pretty extensively in the past?
I mean, I don't want to expose too much on stream as far as
Yeah.
like our thought process, but Breeze is just we have really good aim, I'd say, overall as a team, and it's a map that, you know, I think just requires good aim, you know, with it being so long range. And so regardless of who we're playing on a map like that, it's just there's so many aim duels. So it just fits our playstyle super well. I wouldn't say we necessarily saved it for playoffs. Breeze is a pretty common ban in all honesty. It's not something that we see super often played, but if we get the chance, we do like to play it for sure.
Yeah, and with that being said, obviously we talked about it a little bit before we, got you live here, but kind of playing that flex utility role, and you said you were pretty new to the program yourself. How has being able to play a bunch of agents, like you said, you brought out Raze and Viper in this one. You play Breach on other maps, and being welcomed into the team like that. How does that make you feel? Being able to provide that kind of I got you, whatever you need. You know what? I might not be top fragging every single game, but I got the util. You had that beautiful C's and paint shell combo. Y'all are clearly working y'all's utility together, and that flexibility that you bring, I'm sure, makes everybody feel comfortable, especially being new to the program. So how does that make you feel just as an individual, being able to come in and make that much of a difference and have a showing like this today?
It's really nice, I think, coming in, especially as a new roster. I think there's only 2 people from the GVSU Blue last year that are still on the team, which is Del Taco and Luff. So it's nice to kind of be able to fit into that role when there's, 3 new people as well. And it's been just fun. I think it's fun to just play different characters. It doesn't get as stale, It's fun going into a series, just saying like, okay, well, I'm playing Viper one map, I'm playing Raze, and I'm playing Breach. I've done series where I play literally all 3, all 3 agents, and so it's always a good time. And actually, I mean, we don't really play Ascent very often, but I run Killjoy and Ascent, so literally like all 4.
Wow.
It's all over the place, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, so I think it's really nice. And as far as my development as a player, I think it's really helped because I came from a Counter-Strike background. I've been competing in Counter-Strike for a very long time, and I kind of stepped away from that, and I saw an opportunity in Valorant. So I've only been playing Valorant for about 8 months-ish, I'd say.
Wow.
And yeah, so I've just been, really trying to learn how to play the game. And from a tactical point of view, I think playing all these different agents at a high collegiate level has really helped me develop into a player. And within this season alone, I've seen exponential improvement within my own individual performance.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you don't have that get out of jail free card on every agent, right? Like you can take an aggressive peek with Raze, throw down a blast pack, and get away. You can't do that with a Breach. You can't do that with a Killjoy. So it just kind of enables your mind a little bit more. And I definitely like seeing that as people who have that professional growth, that personal growth as well, kind of learning the game. I think it's super important for everybody to play different agents. Don't just confine yourself to one role. Learn to play a few and learn how to get better at the game as a whole so you can understand what you need to do when the time comes.
Absolutely.
I mean, Visionary, you summed it up pretty well there. And that, I mean, Illusion, if you told me that you'd only been playing Valorant for 8 months, I would have gasped, honestly, with how well that you played tonight. So to close things out, anybody want to shout out?
Yeah, so a good friend of mine, his name is Cam Pitbull. I want to shout him out. He's just, helped me grow a lot as a player. Love the dude. And then also my duo Dive, he was on the team. We were on the C team together last year, and we kind of came up. We both put in a lot of work over the summer to improve individually. I think I had Immortal relatively quick, but I went from Plat 3 to Immortal 3, and then he went from Diamond 1 to Immortal 3, and we just kind of climbed together. So it's cool to see us both be playing at this high level, and it's just that's the other shout out, I guess, that I have to say.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. I love the camaraderie that you have with your team, and especially with your duo. Everybody, thank you so much, Illusion, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to see how GVSU played. You guys played your heart outs, and it showed in the scoreline 2-0 against Army West Point. And I'm very excited to see how you guys are going to be playing throughout the rest of these playoffs.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, that's going to be it for us tonight here. But make sure that you go ahead and follow the channel because we still have more gameplay for you tomorrow in Fortnite and Overwatch. And of course, a big thank you to our producer and observers in the background, to Colton and Lemon. You two are amazing. Thank you so much for making this possible. And to all of you for watching. We'll see all of you tomorrow.
/twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down to the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're going to be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. But this isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not going to tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game.
I believe in you.
Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is
No,
it them?
Not them.
Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay, alright. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over under.
What do you mean over under?
Like, do we think we're gonna podium? Do we think we're gonna come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey.
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place. That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow, I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah. It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my God, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
That's why we're here, right? This is why a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do we replicate what you guys are doing? How do we, how do they do what you guys are doing to a degree? Or why are you guys doing what you're doing to a degree. But to kind of, I think, focus in then a little bit more. I want to talk about gameplay a little bit before we jump into business and all of the other stuff. Jensen, this one's for you, right? I want to talk a little bit about this because to someone like me who's traditionally a League of Legends fan and all that, I know that you've been a coach that's been all over the world. You've worked with a lot of different professional teams and different regions. My question, I really want, I think a lot of people want to know, how did you end up at Maryville and why a North American collegiate college? What was the draw, or what brought you here? How did you get to this point?